because it's been real stingy lately. I know, I'm a baby. Not a fan of the needles, but I am a fan of not being fat. You know, like that.
Looking back on the things that we've taken for granted. We watch the sun go down over the same old town, like so many times before. We look at the same old stars.
Open YouTube. All right, what kind of torture you got for me today?
We're about to do a 20-minute arms and abs workout with a medium set of dumbbells. Let's get ready to feel the burn.
Oh, I'm so excited to feel the burn.
Good. Work the core as that knee comes up.
Sure. Working the core. Engaging your core is hard. Actually, how to core this might be doing something, I suppose. Oh, my heart rate.
We're never meant to last, but all the fun times we had, I'll never forget.
Oh, my triceps. Yep, there they are. Yep, there's that left arm. She's weaker than the right one. Sure.
Pull those ribs down and in. Core is activated. Good.
Well, that does something to my hip. Sure does.
But I need this night for the last time. Stay.
Squeeze through the center.
Not sure what I'm supposed to be squeezing. That's all I can do just to get these dumbbells up.
Stay. No, you're good.
Oh, I'm sweating.
I'll be okay if you stay. Stay. If you stay. If you stay. If you stay. No, you're gone in the morning, but I'll be okay.
So balancey.
Yeah, for a little moment, just hold me closer. I'll be okay till the sun goes down.
Let's go.
Been going. Oh, I don't like this one at all.
Okay, we watch the sun go down over the same old town. Stay, stay. No, you're gone in the morning, but I'll be okay if you stay.
Triceps are the devil.
No, you're gone in the morning, but I'll.
Just a minute, buddy.
Here, and as you put your arm across, you're gonna look over the other shoulder. The other shoulder. So we're gonna bring the soles of our feet together. Feeling that. All through the back, rounding it.
I don't know why this one is so hard for me to do.
So give those arms a nice reach towards the sky, fingertips towards sky.
Reach for the sky.
We're gonna get ready to switch positions next and go into a kneeling position. It's gonna be so good.
Says the skinny lady.
Press back. So tuck your toes under, drop your bum.
Yeah, no, that's not a thing.
Stretch down your forearm, in through your wrist.
Yeah, I already do. Don't need to move.
Stretch.
Is it though?
Bringing your bum down to your heels. We're gonna take.
That's not a thing for fat girls, friend. I'm gonna tell you this.
The chin ears, tucking that chin and pulling. Bottom down into my heels here. So really think about keeping everything nice and long through your
Yeah, that's not a thing.
section.
Ouch.
Feel this down through the ribs, through the back, right all behind you now. Ooh, we have hit it all. Now this is opening up the chest evening, and I will see you very soon for our next workout.
Let's eat. Hi, my name's Mindy, and if you're new here, I have lost over 125 pounds on Wegovy, Mounjaro, semaglutide compound, and I am now back on Wegovy again. And today, we're just gonna do a day in the life type vlog situation. I haven't done one of these in a while. I am now 3 weeks through my 6 weeks, I'm now 3 weeks through my 6-week cut, and so we're kind of at the halfway point, and I just wanted to spend some time with y'all and let you know what's going on with me. As you already saw, I am finally getting back into the strength training, and just gonna kind of talk to y'all about how that came about and some of the fun things that have been happening with me lately. So I'm just getting ready to make breakfast. If you've been around a while, you know my love for Applegate chicken maple sausage. The one drawback to this stuff is they're real expensive. So this box of 10 sausages is like $5.50. It's like over 50 cents per sausage. That's a lot. Now, I've been eyeballing these at my Costco for well over a year. So I bought some Saturday when we went by Costco, and I'm gonna give them a try this morning. And we're gonna hope they're not gross because they are way more affordable. I'm gonna put my breakfast together. I'm gonna put my breakfast together, and then I'll be right back. I can already tell by the texture of them when I cut into them and the smell that I'm probably not gonna like them as much as the Applegate ones, but we'll see. Here's my bite. Sausage, my egg, and my potato. They're not bad. They're nowhere near as good as the Applegate ones, but the texture is way better than most chicken sausage. The reason I love the Applegate ones so much is I'm pretty sure they must use like thigh meat or something, because they are so juicy and the texture is just like pork sausage, and these are a different flavor profile. They're kind of like more of a sagey, savory type chicken sausage. So if you don't like the chicken maple ones because you don't like the mapley, I mean, they're not really sweet, but they're sweet-ish. Swedish, yeah, but they're kind of sweet-esque. They definitely have like a maple undertone to them, which I really enjoy. But these are more that kind of savory, sagey sausage. So if you're more of a fan of that, then you're probably fine with these. They are a little drier and crumblier than the Applegate ones, but they're not bad at all. And for the price difference, the cheapo in me might win out on that one. We'll see. The macros are also slightly better. They're a little lower in calorie, and because they don't have any carbs in them, they're a little higher in protein. So that's a plus too. Either way, they're not bad at all, which is honestly better than I can say for most chicken sausage. I'm gonna eat this, and then I'll meet you guys back here to do our shot. We haven't done that together in a while. So fun. It's shot time. I actually took my shot out last night because it's been real stingy lately. I know, I'm a baby. Wegovy pens are different from Mounjaro pens and Zepbound pens and Ozempic pens. They are unique all unto themselves. I always start by sanitizing. You can inject in your arms, the side of your arms, the tops of your legs, or in your stomach. I have tried all of them. I prefer my arm. You need to let that alcohol completely dry, otherwise it will sting like a mother sucker. There's a little window that has a bubble that goes back and forth. You can see. You want to make sure that that liquid is clear and not cloudy. If for some reason you feel like your pen has frozen or has been out of refrigeration for too long, these can be stored out of refrigeration for up to 28 days. Or like if you had yours shipped to you and you're afraid it got too warm, as long as that liquid is clear, I believe you should be fine. But you can always call Novo Nordisk or Eli Lilly if you're on terzepatide of some kind, just to ask. The Wegovy pen, it's super simple. You just take off the cap, the needle is down in there, and this is spring injected. There's no lock, there's no nothing. So basically I'm just gonna put it to my arm, press, and wait for the second click, and then wait for the yellow plunger to stop moving, and it's done. Still stings. You can see this little yellow plunger. Now the window is not clear anymore, it's yellow. The instructions used to say you needed to wait for 10 seconds, like count to 10 before you stopped. But now they just say, wait for the yellow plunger to stop moving. There's 2 clicks. That little plunger keeps going for a little while, and then there's like a little bubbly hiss noise that you hear. I've been doing it for so long now, I don't even need to look. I can tell when it's done by the noise it makes. As long as that yellow plunger has stopped moving, you're good to take it off your skin and be done with it. So if you're on Mounjaro or Zepbound, I have a short right here where I walk you through an injection if you need some encouragement. I am not a needle fan. The nice thing about these pens is I don't even have to look at a needle, but when I was on a semaglutide compound, I had to use diabetic syringes. So, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Not a fan of the needles, but I am a fan of not being fat. I'll let you know when that happens, the not being fat part. I'm gonna take a shower and get unstinky, and then I'll see y'all in a little bit. Much better. I was feeling a little stinky. Anyway, I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about getting back into strength training. I know I've been talking about this for a while, and it's been a struggle for me. Like, strength training and exercise in general has just been really hard to do consistently throughout this whole thing, because I hate exercise. I do. I know that it's important. I know why I need to do it. And I've stuck with the walking. Like, I don't get as many steps in as I did at one point in my journey. I was all the way up to 7,500 steps. And I'm definitely not doing that much because it's just way too hot to walk multiple times a day in Central Texas right now. So I wake up early in the morning and I go for a walk with Helios, and it's about a 20-minute-ish walk. So I get in about 2,000 steps in the morning, and I get a lot more activity during my job than I used to during the day when I was, working from home, just doing the YouTube channel. So now that I'm working, I get in a lot more activity on and off throughout the day, just latently through doing my job. Building lean muscle mass, like, I know how important that is for your metabolism, for long-term maintenance, for all of those things. Like, I know why I need to do it. I just, for whatever reason, have had the hardest time being consistent with that throughout my life, but definitely throughout this journey. Y'all know that I joined Fridays. It's been a little over a month ago now. I am a Fridays advocate. I have a paid partnership with them, and I did a video last month talking about what Fridays is, what they offer their customers. The whole reason that I decided to partner with them was because I have heard from the beginning of my journey from so many people about how hard it is dealing with insurance not covering these meds. Once I learned about compounds, trying to find a good quality, ethically sourced compound, I knew from firsthand experience how difficult all of that was. And when I spoke with Sina at Fridays and I learned his passion and the founder's passion for obesity care and just the services that they offer their patients, I definitely knew I had found a company that I could stand behind and, use myself for their provider services, for their insurance pre-authorization purposes, and also for their support services. So this last week, they just brought on a new health coach. Her name is Mel. She's on TikTok and Instagram, I believe, under CGO of me, and I will have her socials linked down in the description below. I went to her health coaching session last week at Fridays, and it was so good. Like, I almost didn't go because I was like, no, whatever. What is a health coach going to tell me that I don't already know? And she kind of started the session with an introduction about her and kind of what she does, and then she opened it up to the floor for people to talk about like what they've been struggling with on their journey or what they struggle with the most on their journey. And I mentioned being consistent with strength training. And it was funny at first. She was talking about how as adults, we've kind of made things that are important optional. Like, when we were kids and our parents told us, okay, it's time to brush your teeth, like, we would kick and scream and we didn't want to do it, but because our parents said we had to, we had to. So she introduced this concept of parenting yourself. And it was funny because she was like, it's like brushing your teeth. Like, brushing your teeth isn't optional, right? And I kind of got this look on my face, and I was like, I don't think you understand how low of a priority self-care has been for me. Like, there's a reason that I got to 365 pounds. Taking care of myself has never been a priority for me. It's always been optional. And so when she started talking about this concept of parenting yourself, like creating a list of non-negotiables, things that you have to do every day or every week without fail, regardless of how you feel about doing them. Parenting yourself, like when you get into that mode of I don't want to, or I don't feel like it, or whatever, just kicking that parenting mode into gear and saying, I don't care if you don't want to do it. You need to do it. This is important for you to do it, and you're going to do it anyway. I don't know why that concept hit me so hard, but man, did it ever. And it's such a simple thing, and I'm sure it's something that you all do. I do it sometimes too with certain things, but there are other things that I just, for whatever reason, I don't want to do them bad enough that I just say, yeah, whatever, I don't want to. And so this week I decided was the week that I was going to start strength training again. And I'm starting slow. I'm only doing it twice a week. After my meeting with Dr. Jensen at Fridays, you know, I don't know that I'll go more than twice a week. Like he said that at my age, 2 to 3 times a week is fine, but not more than that. So I may work my way up to 3 times a week if all of a sudden I'm like, oh man, I'm really enjoying this. I don't anticipate that being an issue, but maybe if I start really seeing good results and I'd like to see even more, maybe then I'll decide to kick it up to 3 times a week. But for now, I'm a big fan of starting things slow. Anything is better than nothing, and twice a week is actually quite a lot. I did my workout this morning, and did I love it? No. Do I feel good about the fact that I did it? Absolutely. Am I proud of myself for doing it? Absolutely. I'm excited about this new parenting myself mindset. I've already used it in other aspects. Yesterday, I really didn't want to clean the kitchen. I had a busy week and a busy day on Saturday. And yesterday I really just didn't want to do anything, but I parented myself into cleaning the kitchen. I parented myself into doing some food prep. And so I got all of my salads made for the week. I'm super excited about lunches this week. I'm doing a macro-friendly food. It's a copycat cheesecake. I cannot talk today, y'all. It is a Copycat Cheesecake Factory recipe for their factory chopped salad. I've even been brushing my teeth every night, which I know for a lot of you probably sounds like a no-brainer, but you have to understand, like there have been times in my life where I have gone months without taking care of my teeth. There's a reason I have had multiple root canals. It seems silly to be proud of the fact that I am parenting myself, but that little piece of advice has just made such a huge impact in my life over the last week. So I hope that that's something that you will find helpful as well. And I just wanted to make sure that I shared that with you guys this week. Anyway, I got some work to get done. I will see you guys for lunch. So I have my salad. And if you're not eating your salads with a big ass spoon, I don't know what to tell you. You're missing out. I like chopping everything up really small to make it easier to eat in a spoon because I don't like dealing with stuff falling off a fork. And I don't want to have to stab freaking lettuce all day. So that's a beautiful bite. There's apples and corn and chicken and tomato and avocado and blue cheese and all kinds of crap in there. Ooh, there's that blue cheese. The recipe didn't call for it. Oh, whoops. I forgot to turn my light off back here. The recipe didn't call for it, but I added a little bit of Dijon mustard to the dressing because I felt like it needed it. It made it a little thicker and creamier and, you know, like that. It is delicious. This is a macro-friendly food recipe. If you have been around for any length of time, you have heard me sing the praises of macro-friendly food. They are a recipe subscription service, and they send you, I think it's like 10 new recipes every month. Main dishes, sides, breakfasts, snacks, desserts, everything. There is a database of, I think, over 900 at this point, high protein, balanced type recipes on her site. And it has a meal planning feature on the site, but mostly I just use it to search for recipes and things like that. And it just makes meal planning a million times easier for me. If you guys are interested in checking it out, I am an affiliate with them. I have a discount link for 10% off your first purchase. So she has cookbooks if you don't want to commit to a monthly subscription thing, but I do the 3-month option, which comes out to like $10 a month or something like that. And to me, it's worth $10 a month to not have to search the entire world for recipes, because that's what I used to do. And it used to take me 2 to 3 hours to make my meal plan every week. And I just don't have that kind of time or energy or desire. Her recipes tend to lean more on like the comfort foodie side. She has a lot of months where she's done like copycat recipes. Like this is a Cheesecake Factory copycat. She did a whole month of those. She's done Chili's copycats, Outback Steakhouse copycats, all kinds of stuff like that. But if you're a person that really enjoys like comfort foodie, like chicken and dumplings and stuff like that, like she's probably got a macro friendly version. And just from using her recipes over the months, like, because it's been well over a year since I started using her recipes, I've started to be able to kind of adapt my own recipes. If you missed last week's video, check it out here. I did a macro friendly adaptation of a ground beef orzo with like a creamy tomato sauce type recipe. I took a higher calorie version and turned it into a more macro friendly, balanced version. I have a recipe card on my Buy Me a Coffee page if you want a printable version, but I do have the recipe written out in the description of that video from last week. If you're also somebody that wants to support my content, you can go to my Buy Me a Coffee page. My monthly members get a weekly meal plan from me. It's my meal plan that I'm following with links to recipes. They're almost always macro-friendly food recipes, but I also provide free options for those recipes if you don't want to become a subscriber, but I can't recommend them highly enough. If you are a macro-friendly food subscriber and you love their recipes, give them a shout out down in the comments. Or if you're a macro-friendly food subscriber or you have been in the past and you didn't love them, let me know. I want to know. If everybody doesn't love them as much as I do, I want to know, because I only hear from the people that love them. So anyway, I'm gonna eat this lunch because it's delicious and I'm hungry. And then I got some more work to do. Hi. So the afternoon kind of got away from me. I needed to do my nails desperately because I hadn't done them since before I left for California. And they came out really cute, but they took forever, as they do. So I was in a scramble to make dinner, and dinner has been made. These are the macro-friendly food baked beef and bean taquitos. And I used that avocado dressing that I use all the time, and it's just shredded cabbage and homemade pico de gallo and some queso fresco on top. And it looks so good. This entire plate of food, massive as it is, 552 calories, 39 grams of protein, 49 grams of carbs, 23 grams of fat. Yum. It's a little low on the protein for me. It's only at 28%, but I'm totally fine with that. Got some dressing, some queso fresco, some cabbage and pico, and Now, my husband's favorite macro-friendly food recipe right now probably is the slow cooker chicken tinga tacos. I like these just as much as those, maybe more. He said they're not as good as the chicken tinga ones to him, but I really like those a lot. And they were a lot easier to make, and it made way more. It made 24 little taquitos. The macros on them aren't quite as good as the chicken tinga because it's chicken. But man, those are good. I'm very much gonna enjoy. I have pieces of cilantro stuck in my teeth. Yep, I'm gonna eat that. It is much later than I anticipated eating dinner, so I don't know if dessert is gonna happen tonight, which makes me sad. But I promise I will share that recipe with you sometime this week. I'll see you later. It's dessert time. Look how pretty it is. I made this yesterday. I was not hungry enough to eat it, so I'm back today to taste it. So let me show you how I made it. Really wasn't that hard to throw together, but I made the dough and then I let it rest overnight and then I baked it today. So I'll show you how I made it. So let's give it a taste. I will say that the biscuit is much more of a roll consistency, like the shortcake, but I'm sure it'll be delicious. It's easier to eat with my hands. That's pretty tasty. Like I said, the shortcake definitely isn't short, but it tastes delicious and the cream is good. I did add, the recipe did not call for the Cool Whip or the reduced fat whip topping. I added that in because I had it left over from my strawberry protein fluff last week, and I'm glad I did. I don't think I would like it as much if I hadn't, so I would definitely recommend that. And if I make this again, and I probably will, I think I would double the biscuit ingredients. Like, it was real small. It was a very small biscuit. I will enjoy this immensely. It's definitely a nice higher protein alternative to a strawberry shortcake. I'm gonna eat this. Watch another episode of Outlander. And I'll see you guys on Friday for a weigh-in. Good morning. Happy Friday. It is weigh-in day, and I would love to be able to come on here and tell you I've lost all the weight from my vacation and then some. But last night I started my cycle, and so bloating is the thing. I was on a trajectory in the beginning of the week to be, making some progress, and then Aunt Flo rears her ugly little head and everything goes to poop. But you know what? It's okay. It's out of my control. Nothing I can do about it. I'm staying on track. I am being mindful of the fact that the scale should not control my mood. And I wanted to just kind of go over a little bit of the data as far as what's happened throughout this cut for me. So when I started the cut on July 1st, that was the Monday after I came back from California. I had come back from California on Wednesday the week before. So I took some of the vacation weight off through the weekend. When I started on July 1st, I was at 248.8 pounds. So I had gained about 8-ish pounds from the end of my previous to the start of my new, which I knew that when I went to California, I would gain up to 10 pounds. So I actually gained less than what I thought I would. So I was okay with that. My low this week, before I started my cycle, was 239.4. My low last week was 239. So my weight has been fluctuating a little bit all throughout this week with my cycle and hormones and everything else. If you are somebody that is premenopausal and you are still having your cycles, even if you're not having your cycles anymore as a woman, your hormones are still going to play a big part in what your weight looks like on a monthly, weekly, sometimes daily basis. So that's why I like to weigh every day, because if I had just weighed today and not had the rest of this week's data to look at, I would be probably even more frustrated than I am right now. So basically from January 1st to my lowest weight last week, I've lost 9.8 pounds, which, I mean, in 3 weeks, really in 2 weeks, because that was last week's weight, my low. I mean, that's amazing, but obviously a ton of that was water weight because of, coming back from California where I was eating a bunch of carbs. My averages though, first week, my average was 244.4. My average for the second week, the second full week, was 240.6. My average for this third week so far is 240.6, but I only have 5 days worth of data so far. So that number will change. It'll probably go down a little bit as I get weights for the next couple of days. So obviously I'm still on a downward trend. I'm very happy with that. My lowest weight from my previous cut, which wasn't even my final weight for the cut because my weight went back up at the end of my last cut, like it does. My lowest weight at the end of my last cut was 239.2. I did get below that last week. I was at 239, so I am making progress. It's just slow, like it always is, you know. One of the things that was nice to see is some of my measurements have gone down. My chest at the end of my last cut was at 42.2 inches. My chest this morning was 41.25 inches. My waist was at 39.76 and now it's at 39.8. So that actually went up a tiny bit, but I'm not a huge fan of the new digital tape measure, the Renpho one. I feel like the measurements are so sporadic, like it's because it's measuring down to like the millimeter. They're so sensitive with where they're at. I feel like I got a much better reading when I was using the manual tape measure. So I will just mention that. My hips were at 49.44 at the end of my cut, and this morning they were at 48.77. So the restaurant that we go to all the time, Dos Salsas, I have had several of the wait staff there mention how they can tell that I'm losing weight. This week at work, one of my coworkers said that she could really tell that I was losing weight. So, I mean, those are people that see me all the time, and the fact that they can tell that there are changes and things like that, it's, you know, that's encouraging to me. I know some people hate it when people make comments about their body and their weight loss. I am a approval junkie. Hi, my name is Mindy and I'm a people pleaser. So anyway, I do not mind at all when people make comments about how they can tell I've lost weight and how I'm looking good and things like that. Like, that does not bother me one bit, not even in the slightest. So I am okay with that. I'm trying to rest in those non-scale victories this week, knowing how my clothes feel, how I look when I look at myself in the mirror. And when I look back and I edit these videos, like, I can see changes in my body, even if it's not reflecting on the scale. And I'm doing my best to hold tightly onto that instead of being mad about the fact that my stupid hormones are sabotaging the numbers on the scale. There was one other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about this morning. When I had my meeting with my provider at Friday's Health, I talked about that in my Friday's video. I told you guys that the provider told me that there was a study that looked into supplements that could boost the effectiveness of GLP medications. And a lot of you were asking me what the supplement was that I was taking. And I told you guys I wanted to give it a little while to see if I actually thought it was working or if I actually thought it was doing anything. And I have now been on it for about a month or so. And I will say that I did notice a difference pretty much from the beginning, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't a placebo effect. The supplement that I found after I did some research on Amazon, because I didn't want to take a million different things, I found something that had pretty much everything in it that they had talked about in that study. So it's by New Quit. I'll have a link to it in my Amazon store down in the description. Anyway, it's got turmeric, curcumin, berberine, Ceylon, and resveratrol. There's other ingredients in it as well, but those are the bulk of the supplements that in the trial they discovered could boost the effectiveness of GLP medications for people who had been on them for a while. I have not been struggling as much with food noise. Some of the appetite suppression is a little bit better than it was. And I feel like I've just been having a much easier time this cut, like for these 3 weeks, staying focused, staying on track, and I'm not feeling burnt out like I was, earlier this year when I was trying to make it work without these. So I just take 2 of these every morning with the rest of my laundry list of supplements at this point that I'm on. And like I said, I have definitely noticed a difference. So if you're somebody that's been struggling with them not working as well, there is some science behind this. I will link the study as well that my doctor told me about if you want to look into it some more and see what the findings were. But from my personal experience, I have noticed that this has made a difference in how I feel on the medication since I started taking it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Had a little hangout vloggy time with y'all this week. I know I don't get to do these very often anymore because they are very time intensive, but I loved putting it together for you guys. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed, already, please do. I would love it if you would say hi to me down in the comments. Let me know how you're doing in your journey, if I can be an encouragement to you in any way. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better.